Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Bluegrass Xfinity Series here on VSRN. Got you a little replay here. See what happened. And we're going to take you back and show you the race from Tuesday night and see who punched their ticket to the next round and who is going to make the playoffs and who missed it, and move on to the round of 8, starting with this cutoff race here. And we are at the Charlotte Roval like we have been all week long. Some really good racing in the Truck Series, and we expect the same thing from the Xfinity Series. I think we probably can. It's going to be a good race. I think the Xfinity car puts on some really, really good road course racing. I think it's a very old school feel. The next gen is very glued to the track. You can really drive the heck out of it. And yeah, it's just going to be a great show. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see who comes away with the victory and a little bit closer to the championship. Everybody's starting to get gridded up here in just a moment, and like I said, on these replays, be patient. Sometimes things work out great, sometimes they don't. We'll have to see how it all works out. We'll adjust as needed, but everybody now starting to grid up. And we'll see who's going to be starting on the front row. Looks like only 12 drivers here tonight. That's pretty wild, but not surprising. Coming down to the end of the playoffs, once people feel like they're out of it, you start to see them kind of fade off and not wanting to show up. So you see that in a lot of leagues. Take a look at your grid here if we can. Alex Penn, Michael Kostic going to start 1, 2. No surprise there. James Silvers, David Farmer going to start 3rd and 4th. Jimmy Allen, Andy Kurtz going to start 5th and 6th. 7th and 8th is going to be Scott Fritz and Daniel Cunningham. Justin Ray going to bring up the 9th position, and Lucas Lyon in 10th. 11th going to be Tony Iverson with Michael Cole rounding out the end of the grid here tonight. So a lot of drivers still in the hunt, but with only 12 drivers, I mean, it's mainly just going to be playoff drivers in this thing here tonight. Take a look at your point standings here. This is where we at before the Roval race. David Farmer, with the win last week, did lock himself into the next round, so he has no stress. Doesn't look like he was going to have any stress anyway. Pretty much David Farmer, Alex Penn going to be locked in no matter what. See 4 or 5 wins there. Daniel Cunningham right there, 27 points back from Alex Penn, but he is definitely going to advance. It's going to be very difficult to for people to drop out up at the front here. But now as we get on down, that 12th position, Lucas Lyon pretty far back, going to need a lot of help to get into that 8th position. Scott Fritz sitting there in the 8th position on that cutoff line. So that's where all the movement's going to be. And you can see Scott Fritz doesn't have a whole lot of it's got 5 points from him to Tony Iverson. So going to be a stressful race for some of these guys, with only 12 cars in the field. There's not going to be a whole lot of movement. A lot of these guys, if you go in the race, but 5 points is still, I mean, if something really terrible happens to Scott Fritz, Tony Iverson can move up to the front. That could really change how everything is done. Look at the race analysis here. The Xfinity cars fixed setup, 45 laps, stage break at lap 18. Those stage points could mean a whole lot, and that caution flag will help these guys get their cars back in order if they have some trouble, or they spin out. They'll be able to get caught back up, or if they had a bad qualifying effort, they can do the same thing. But it is a round of 8 cutoff race. But you're seeing right here as they go through the backstretch chicane, something these guys are going to be dealing with a lot tonight is these cars trying to get this sliding, slip and sliding type car around this track. If we take a look at the weather, the track's 102 degrees. So going to be important to keep the tires on it. It's going to be tough, honestly. The Xfinity car is probably one of my least favorite cars to run on road courses, just because, man, it is so difficult to be consistent. So whoever wins this race definitely is probably going to say the best driver on road courses, because it takes every bit to get around this thing. All right, getting ready to go green. Gonna have 45 laps here tonight, or this, well, I guess this afternoon. But Alex Penn gonna lead us down to the green flag. Green flag is out. All right, already going to be one lap in the books as Alex Penn's going to take a massive lead after the start, and he's going to lead the first lap. Back here in the Hornets' Nest, you've got a lot of guys really jockeying for position, almost 3 wide here with Jimmy Allen and Michael Kostic, who must have made contact with somebody as he has a ton of damage to that 8 machine. Oh, he's into the wall again. So massive damage to the 8. I'm not really sure what happened between those two, but he has really, really massive damage to that 8 machine. You can see he was not able to make that right-hander at all. We'd show you a replay, but it really messes up trying to go back to the live position. So we'll try to show you as many replays as we can catch, but sometimes it's just not possible. And I'm not really sure what happened to Kostic because we were kind of giving that first lap time to breathe. But we're going to get the timing and scoring up right now as we watch Kostic continue to fade back from that second place starting position. He fell back a little bit and was fighting for second place, so I'm not really sure. And you say he's not even able to make the entrance of the chicane. He's going to drive right through. So already a tough night for Michael Kostic, as he is really struggling right here. All right, timing and scoring is up, so glad to get that going. Looks like he may have made some contact with he obviously made contact with the wall. Don't know if it was a result of racing with James Silvers here in third place, but Alex Penn already out to a 4.3 second lead over James in that second position. Back here, everybody's starting to spread out a little bit. Scott Fritz, the guy right there on the cutoff line for the round of 8. He has started 7th, already up to 5th. Doing exactly what he needs to do. And he would love for there not to be a stage break, because all he needs to do is stay where he is right here. He just needs to make sure he doesn't somehow fall 5 points behind Tony Iverson. But one thing we do need to look out for is, and obviously building drama, because Alex Penn is obviously unbelievable. So look here at your point standings. So he's got, as long as he finishes 5 points behind, or 5 positions behind Tony Iverson, just finish ahead of him. That's really the goal for Scott Fritz. You can look down there. I mean, if any of those drivers, if Lucas Lyons goes up there, he's running 6th. If he goes up there and wins, that could knock Scott Fritz out. So Scott, while he's got to feel pretty good about his opportunity, he still needs to worry about the fact that a new winner would push him out of the round of 8. So he needs to go up there and try to win it himself if all possible, and especially if something happens, say on the restart for the stage break or something like that. So definitely not a stress-free race for Scott Fritz, but right now he's doing all he can, up in the 5th position, gained a couple spots, and so far so good if you're the 0-1 machine. If you're Tony Iverson, you're back here battling. Did not have a great starting position in 11th. And now battling with Andy Kurtz. And that's for the 7th position here. We're on lap number 4. This race is going to fly by pretty quickly as there's no cautions other than the stage break. So road courses are usually pretty quick, so we will click these off pretty quickly. They will get spread out with only 12 drivers on the track. There won't be that many battles, but I'm going to do the best I can to show y'all all of the battles that I find. But right now, it's just trying to get settled in, get the car where you want it to be, how the temperature of the track is running, and try to get a feel for what your car is doing and start looking ahead, seeing who's in front of you and trying to track them down. The beautiful thing about road course racing is you see Andy Kurtz gets that turtle as, man, really knocks that car up into the air. It can get almost pretty scary. But road course racing is fun, man. Even if you feel like you're not that great at them, you get a carrot to chase. Like right here with Andy Kurtz and Lucas Lyons, you get that carrot to chase. You can start pushing that car a little bit harder, and really start to push those lap times. As long as you have somebody out in front of you, you kind of can get a good feel for the braking points and where you need to slow down, and that allows you to push that car just a little bit harder. Where somebody like Alex Penn, James Silvers, you know, they're really relying on the practice that they have put in to be able to knock down these lap times and do them really fast. And right now, Alex Penn is definitely doing exactly that. He is 2 seconds faster than second place James Silvers, and that's pretty telling. We talked about this on Tuesday night. There's just some guys who are really good. I mean, just look at the confidence over those turtles, those curves there. That takes some skill, some time, effort, and you see just how he hits the apexes. It was the same as on Tuesday night. You just don't see a whole lot of wasted throttle and brake. Everything is purposeful. Steering into the corner, the brake, the throttle. He's going to dip those left sides out onto the paint, but just perfect apexes, and that's why he is 2 seconds faster than everybody else. He's just able to do everything just right. To see how smooth he's being. He's not being aggressive. He's not slinging the car all over the place, which seems like it's faster, but all it does is heat the tires up, give you less control, and he is just getting all he can out of that machine. Michael Kosick back out on track. He went down, had about a minute of repairs, so try to get that car back in working order, but yeah, disappointed to see Michael Kosick go down so early. I think he is one of the better road course racers in this series, so to see him go out early is pretty disappointing. He's got to feel pretty good about his points position, but definitely not the race he was looking to have here tonight. It was already a lap down. He will get the lucky dog. However, his lap times are pretty far off the pace, so that I think that damage is pretty substantial. So he's just not able to get that car to turn to the left. So that right side damage really putting a lot of hurt on that 8. Just not able to get the times that he needs. Tony Iverson, though, has moved up. As I think a couple folks right now, Scott Fritz coming down pit road on lap 6. Seeing a couple people come down pit road already, getting fuel only, so thinking about maybe flipping the stage, different strategies. So Lucas Lyons, Daniel Cunningham, Andy Kurtz, all on the same team coming down pit road to get, looks like fuel only. So there must be a fuel strategy with how many laps they can go on fuel, and they're trying to hit their strategy just right, especially for this stage. So they come out, and I'm assuming that means they will not be pitting under the stage break. So we'll see if anybody else does that. That moves Tony Iverson up into the 5th position. Obviously, that will change if he decides not to do that, but interesting strategy call. I like to see stuff like this, especially at a road course. Kind of throws Scott Fritz back into battle with other cars. Right now, he's running behind Daniel Cunningham, who has also come down pit road to do the same thing. I wonder how much fuel saving they're actually doing, because right there into that chicane, it seemed like Daniel Cunningham was really taking it easy on the throttle. I mean, very, very slow into that chicane. And you see, he's actually, Scott Fritz going to drive down to the inside and just lets him go. So I don't know if he's just trying to save the rear tires because they're going to stay out, or if he's actively trying to save a little bit of fuel. A lot of times in these stock cars and in road course racing in general, the tire wear is it's a weird thing, because if you go, the laps are so long, and if you go down pit road and get 4 tires, you come out, it takes a couple laps for the temperatures to get up to where they have good grip. You're not able to turn down to the corner like you're seeing here. These turns are just very, very difficult with cold tires. And so if you can keep those tires on the car the longest you can, you really can keep that grip level up and be able to turn quick lap times. But it does take a couple laps to really get the grip into them. But the fall off is pretty intense. Seems like everybody's really having to be patient. It's like last lap, Alex Penn was in the 124, so he's already fallen off 3, maybe 2 seconds from the start of the race here on lap 8. But that 30 is already out to an 11-second lead over James Silvers, who is trying to hold off David Farmer back there. You can see he's about 2 seconds back. They're running very, very similar lap times. So now, so far, other folks have come down pit road. Jimmy Allen comes down. He took 4 tires along with Tony Iverson. So some different strategy being employed tonight. Unfortunately, I don't know. I'll be interested to see how this plays out, because Tony Iverson is coming out of pit road here now. We'll see if those new tires really make a difference, but I'm interested to see what his first lap is going to be and see how tough it is on new tires. But he gives up a lot of track position. Those guys that came down took fuel only. They only lost 6 seconds, where Tony Iverson's going to lose about 8 after all is said and done. We'll have the fresher tires. He's really blinking out here, having some connection issues, but let's see. Right now, Jimmy Allen also took 4 tires, starting to run these guys down pretty quickly. Jimmy was running up in the 3rd position, I think. Nice little 4-way battle here. This is from 4. It was Scott Fritz. Oh, he's going to make contact with Jimmy Allen right in front of Daniel Cunningham and Andy Kurtz. They make contact there in the chicane on the front stretch, and Jimmy Allen goes around, but Scott Fritz gets the worst of it as he was pointing backwards and may lose a spot to Justin Ray here. So Scott Fritz, who's right on the bubble, can't afford these type of mistakes and issues happening, but that was a lot of cars they were trying to fit into that spot. And he's going to fall back to the 8th position and probably heated those tires up quite a bit. Oh, you see Justin Ray is going to get loose right on the infield. He's going to do a little 360 and take off. But those rear tires are going to be really struggling here for that 38 machine. Back up here, though, Daniel Cunningham under fire from Jimmy Allen. Like I said, I want to see, not going to be a great representation for Jimmy Allen after that contact, but be interested to see what Tony Iverson can do on new tires versus these older ones. Alex Penn, James Silvers, David Farmer, the 3 drivers who have yet to come down pit road to try any strategy calls. So I'm excited to see how this plays out, how these strategies are going to play as we're on lap 10 now. Or actually, Alex is on 11, so we have just a few more laps for this stage break at lap 18. We'll see if that how that affects the rest of this race. Jimmy Allen going to get around Daniel Cunningham. We'll see what Jimmy can do on these new tires. I mean, so far it hasn't really done anything for him. You see he's definitely got a lot more grip, though. He's able to drive up to these guys and sort of drive away. This will be a great lap to see if he's able to run a little bit quicker times. But so far, everybody electing to take mostly fuel only. Tony Iverson, his first lap, full lap on those new tires. He's just a 125.4. So Alex Penn is still lapping in the 124 bracket, low 124. So pretty impressive by Alex. I mean, right now he's in a different zip code. Now got a battle for second though, as David Farmer has gotten to the back bumper finally of James Silvers. It just seems like about 2 to 3 tenths every single lap. David Farmer is really putting the pressure. And, man, I tell you, Alex Penn, David Farmer have really separated themselves from the rest of this field in this Xfinity car. They've been really impressive as Silvers almost gets out of shape there through the inside. Definitely feeling the pressure of that 84 behind him. But, I mean, these two, have 4 and 5 wins on the season. And if Alex Penn continues this, he'll have 6 wins on the season. These two have definitely separated themselves as likely favorites going into the championship 4. I would be surprised if they didn't make it there. Every single week they seem to be in the mix. So they've really turned up the juice coming down, starting in the playoffs. Both those drivers really kind of struggling. Peyton Hubbard in the Truck Series struggling as well, but has turned it up for the playoffs as we watch a great battle there as David Farmer tried to get down to the inside of that chicane. Such a tough place to pass, but there's not, if you're all equal, to be honest, there's not a whole lot of places to pass here on this track. You'll see you've got to take some opportunities, some chances to make that move. Is a lot of these corners where you're not really slowing down, you're kind of just letting off and letting the car roll. Not a great opportunity to make a pass on somebody. So those chicanes are really the best places to do it, or right after this turn right here. You got to go out, get a great angle here to get right on the gas as soon as you possibly can and make a pass here on the NASCAR Oval. You do get a little bit of draft, but you still get up to speed for long enough for it to really be huge like it is, say, in an oval race. But you want to be as close as possible. And we saw Peyton Hubbard do that in the Truck Series, where he goes out right before getting on the NASCAR Oval, gives that right wall a kiss, same one Kyle Larson wrecked into to not move on to the next round last season, and just taps that car, gets the point at the right way to get the most speed off of onto the oval. But here comes David Farmer right before the stage here. Alex Penn, your leader, doing the exact same thing. So they'll come down pit road. We'll see if they do 4 tires and fuel. Alex Penn currently on for 6 seconds. Actually misses a gear a little bit, so but able to get out. 8-second stop there. So fuel only, I believe, for Alex Penn. I'll be honest, I wasn't watching his car to know if he took tires, but I don't think so. David Farmer as well coming out now with just fuel only. So we'll see if those tires are really going to make a difference. And so far, doesn't seem to really be worth it. Jimmy Allen running very fast lap times at the moment, but he's 17 seconds back from David Farmer. So I can't say it was worth it. You'll have a stage break here, and we'll see what everybody decides to do. I'm interested how this strategy call is going to play out for a lot of guys. I can't say I'm the best on road course strategy, so trying to give you the answer, I don't know. It seems like it's a fuel strategy, though, to make sure that you can maybe I have no idea. I don't mind telling you I don't know. But James Silver's now going to take over the lead. He's the only driver that hasn't come down pit road. I'm assuming you can't make it to the end of this thing, and I think that may be what it is. So if I'm gonna in the dark throw a dart at the dart board, I'm going to say you just couldn't make it to the end of the stage. You're going to have to pit at some point, so that's why these guys went ahead and did that. So Silver's going to come down, and Alex Penn going to retake the lead here. As, man, look at this battle. This is your battle for the cutoff right here. Now, Scott Fritz does not need to put himself in position. He's got 5 points. They're both going to get... Oh, Scott Fritz going to completely blow the backstretch chicane. Probably going to get a slowdown for that. We'll see. He definitely is off the throttle here. But Tony Iverson's going to get around him. But, you know, Scott Fritz has about 5-point lead over Tony Iverson. So this is not a battle for the cutoff. Tony's going to have to go up there and pass about 5 or 6 cars to make it worth it. They're both going to get playoff points. So it might change it from Tony having to pass 6 cars to... the 5, so. But after the strategy kind of plays out, Alex Penn comes out with the lead. Even after that pit stop, he's got a 14.2 second lead over James Silvers, who was able to retake second place from David Farmer, which David never really got around him, but he did kind of stretch the lead out to 1.5 seconds. It looked like David was definitely going to start putting the pressure on him soon. So just a couple more laps before this stage break. So if you're Tony Iverson here, he's got about, you see, he's got 2 or 3 spots up there, so he's got a couple laps to be aggressive here. He's got 4 tires, so he definitely has the tire advantage. So while I didn't really like the strategy call, at the same time, he definitely has a great opportunity here to at least gain 2 or 3 spots, get more stage points than Scott, and could be all the difference coming down towards the end of this thing. And you never know what can happen, I mean, especially with a restart looming. A lot of things could happen and really change the outlook of this race, especially the points battles. But got a big battle here, as you see Michael Kostick, who is a lap down. Tony Iverson's going to be aggressive, going to get it. Scott Fritz is right behind him, trying to keep him in tow. Iverson's going to try to go around the outside. Now he's got position, drives it down into the corner, and takes that spot away from Andy Kurtz. But Scott Fritz is right behind him. Tony basically punching a big hole in the air, and Scott, all he's got to do is follow him through it if he can keep pace. But on lap 16 now, Alex Penn has been out front since the drop of the green flag, has come down pit road, lost the lead for just a lap or two, and then came back out on the track. James Silvers comes down pit road, and now he is back up in the lead and continues to extend it. 124 second bracket without, on the same set of tires he started with. He's definitely, unless he makes a massive mistake here or something happens on this restart, if they let him get away after the stage break, there's nothing you could do. It's all in Alex Penn's hands. He's got just such an advantage. Gonna put Justin Ray a lap down, who saw kind of have some issues earlier. Spun out, did a little 360. Those tires definitely not feeling great, but I'm gonna check the announcements here. I don't know if they've elected to not throw the caution, so I don't know. Oh, we're going to 18. Excuse me. We're just crossed over into lap 18. Excuse me. Alex Penn gonna win this stage unless something happens. The battles for second place as James Silver's under fire from David Farmer. These points matter. Tony Iverson trying to run down Daniel Cunningham for the end of the stage. David as he is trying to get this spot. Now, I don't know exactly. I think they'll throw the caution. Silver's going to open the door here and allow Farmer to get to the inside of him. Going to have the run off the top side, but Farmer's going to be there, and he's going to have a great opportunity to jump to the inside of this backstretch chicane. He's definitely going to get a look here. Let's see if he can make it happen. Not quite able to get to him. I think they'll wait till the last car on the lead lap crosses the line, and Alex Penn has already taken the checkered flag for the stage. We got to wait for everybody to come around before they throw the yellow flag, although it's like they may have thrown it. Yep, they have. So that will lock the field down. No racing back to the line. So yellow flag is out, and we'll see what the strategy call is here. I would assume everybody's going to come down pit road and get 4 tires and fuel, but be interested to see how that plays out. The Roval, man, very interesting layout. It's tough. It's so tight. You know, the chicanes are so tight. The infield is really tight. It's just it's a tough road course for. I think it'd be interesting to see how it plays out in like GT3 cars. But right now, I don't know. The oval product, you know, the Roval product with the stock cars is I don't know. I don't know how well the track is, but I tell you what, the drivers seem to have a lot of fun racing on it. Here they come down pit road. Alex Penn gonna lead them down, and we'll see if they take 4 tires of fuel. What's the call gonna be? Boy, it's gonna be a really important stop for the 30. He doesn't have that advantage that he had built up over that first stage. So all the, if the roll the dice goes wrong for Alex Penn, he could end up a couple spots back. Definitely don't want to speed, make any mistakes, and then you've got the restart. Going to be really, really important for the 30 machine. Justin Ray stays out, and he's going to get his lap back, and I think Michael Kostick should get the lucky dog, but we'll see. The race off the pit road. And Alex Penn going to lead him off, so he retains the lead. James Silvers comes out in second, Jimmy Allen in fourth. Everybody takes 4 tires and fuel. So we'll skip forward a little bit to the start of stage number 2 as we'll get all the action here, and we'll skip forward. Green flag is out. James Silver's trying to use a little bounce off the wall to get this position away from Alex Penn. That's the only way he can attempt to win this race, is to get out in front. Man, Alex Penn just unbelievable. Takes over that top spot on this restart and going to start to pull away really quickly. So that's about the last thing that everybody wanted to see. Alex Penn come out of pit road in first and win the battle into turn 3. So now it's all on Alex Penn to not make any mistakes. You know, you race these races that get pretty long. 45 laps here tonight. They're pretty long. And, you know, you can have some laps in judgment. So it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park. You're going to have to pay attention, be on your game. Now, once he gets a big enough lead, he can start to not take as many chances for sure. So we'll see how he decides to attack it. Is he really being aggressive with that chicane? Jimmy Allen holding on to that 4th position. Lucas Lyons was trying to take it over. Now he's got Scott Fritz behind him. Tony Iverson back in the 10th position as Scott Fritz up here in 6th, and he is looking to, oh my goodness, another aggressive move. Gonna make contact with Lucas as they come out of the corner. And I tell you, man, Scott Fritz playing with fire as he is really being aggressive here. He is to the good. He's going to make more contact. He is completely good in the playoffs, but he's racing like he's got to win to get in or something, putting himself in some dangerous positions. You know, definitely don't want to piss off somebody that's not in the playoffs, or, you know, it feels pretty solid, locked in. But I like the aggression. I think that Scott doesn't need to do that. I don't think he has to dive in there and take too many positions quickly. He's got, right now he's 6th. Tony Iverson's in 10th, so he should be okay. You can see he's really fighting, trying to get every position he can here. Of course, Lucas right in front of him. He needs to go up there and win the race, be able to have any hopes of moving on to the next round. So here they go, battling again. Now, at this point, tires have definitely gotten to their temperature. You see Scott Fritz just outbrakes the 25 into the chicane. The 25, and he didn't outbreak, he outbroke him, but it was a little bit too much as he completely blows through the chicane. I think he should have a slowdown penalty. He'll have to do that at some point. I think he's trying to do it while on track. He doesn't have to come to a complete stop at iRacing. In iRacing, you just have to give that time back, whatever iRacing said you gained. So you have to slow down, and it will let you get it every couple corners, but you don't have a whole lot of time to give it back if it does black flag you. So up here, this battle has continued to rage on. David Farmer has been trying since the beginning of the race, and we're 24 laps in to get around this 33 machine. 33 tried to get around Alex Penn, just a valiant effort to get that lead, just not able to do it. But now, David Farmer right on the back bumper of James Silver. This battle continues. We have a pretty nice battle. Jimmy Allen just 2 seconds back. Could run these guys down and have a little three-way battle for second place. Just look how aggressive they are over those turtles. It just looks like it would just break the car in half, but it is the fastest way, or they wouldn't be doing it. I didn't watch the Cup race Wednesday night, so I'm not sure if the next gen can really handle that kind of aggressive. Oh, as James Silver's going to get a little bit too much. But you see David Farmer just not able to really take advantage of it. The interior of the track is really a no passing zone. You're just trying to maintain and carry as much speed through these corners as you can. There's just no great passing opportunities. I mean, if you try to make a pass here, you're going to be in trouble. This is where you have to make your lap right here. You see David Farmer does a great job through there. Struggles a little bit there on the exit. If he can get up through the gears better than Silver's and get the opportunity to go down to the inside. I think at this point in the race, not going to do it here. But maybe late in the race, you'd look to the inside and just try to outbrake the guy. But I think David feels like he's faster. He's just waiting on that little mistake that will open that door and allow him to get through. Farmer trying to set up a little bit better entry for the chicane. Both of them being really aggressive. He's got the inside track here. Oh, just couldn't get the power down exactly, but he's going to get the position here. We'll see if Silver's fights back. Silver's going to fight back on that 33. They almost make a little bit of contact. As it go down into turn 2, it looks like David Farmer finally, after 26 laps, able to make the pass on James Silver. That's a good racing right there. That's one thing about the Roval is Silver, both of them letting the rear end hang out, but that's a good thing about the Roval. It does keep the guys tight, not a lot of passing zones. It really keeps folks running nose to tail sometimes. So David Farmer finally gets away from James Silver. Is going to be able to put some lap times down to separate himself. He's going to have to pick up a whole second worth of lap time to be able to run down Alex Penn, though, who was lapping in the mid 122s. So gonna be tough to run him down. Tony Iverson way back in the 10th position, looking to make a move here on Justin Ray. And really close battling there in that backstretch chicane. See, just not quite able to get a position. And you see right there, I mean, when you try to make a move there in the chicanes, you don't get the run that you need out of them. If you try to go in a weird angle, it's just better to stay in line like we saw David Farmer do and get the run, say, like right here. Looks like Iverson's going to be able to get the power down and have the position down into turn 1. We've seen that outside line be strong, though. Alex Penn used it to hold on to that position. Justin Ray going to drive really hard down on the door of the 24, and he's going to be able to hold on to it. Let's see if the angle, let's see if the 24 can do the old switcheroo, and he's going to try it. Justin Ray going to have to give it up. A great move by Tony Iverson to get down to the inside, and now Justin Ray going to be battling here with Michael Kosick, who did not get the lucky dog. I don't know if they had lucky dogs not enabled or if somebody else got it. Justin may have gotten it. So Kosick still 1 lap down. He's going to need he's not going to need anything. He's not going to get a caution, so he's going to be stuck 1 lap down for the rest of the race. Back up here to the 5th position, Scott Fritz, Lucas Lyons. They have been running near each other for the last 10 laps or so since the restart. And Scott continuing to put pressure here on Lucas. Gets down to the inside of that chicane, and Lucas not. I mean, you see there, just not enough positions, or not enough room to really make that move there. I mean, what you're asking Lucas to do in that position is to basically just jump the curve, but Lucas has to make that second turn of that chicane, and Scott was really trying to make that move, but it's going to be so difficult to make a pass there without some sort of contact. We've already seen Jimmy Allen go around because of it. Lucas blinking out a little bit, so connection issues there as he gets a little bit sideways. Lucas going to make a little bit of contact with the wall as they come out onto the NASCAR oval. On board with Scott Fritz. Trying to get a run here. You're going to peek down to the inside, show in the mirror of Lucas saying, I'm coming. I'm going to actually make a little bit of contact as he gets into the back end of the 25, trying to upset that car, and actually going to push him wide here as he does complete the pass. Had to use his bumper to do it, but Scott Fritz up into the 5th position now after that battle with Lucas Lyons. It was actually really well done. I mean, Lucas was really out of shape going into the corner. Didn't wreck him, but he wasn't able to get there. And you see Lucas really trying to put it back to him. Lucas not happy about that contact that lost him that position. See if this continues. And Scott Fritz actually smokes him, trying to get into the corner. He knew that Lucas was going to dive it in there. Oh, I think there might be some contact still waiting to happen here. Scott Fritz going to drive really hard, but man, look at Lucas really hanging on the outside of those corners. Very tough position to be in if you're the 25. He is still there. Oh, they get right down on each other's door, and I think Lucas is going to lose out here, but not happy about that contact, the 25 car. That's why I'm so surprised. I mean, Scott Fritz is in the playoffs. He's got plenty of points, but he just needs to not have disaster. So he's almost welcoming disaster. It's just pretty crazy to see, but hey. Oh yeah, here it is. Lucas tries to give him the business, but that's just not where it needed to be done, I guess, as it really upset Lucas's car, and he goes around. So the 25, Lucas is going to drop back to the 9th position. Actually, the 10th now as Justin Ray goes around. So got some drama going on track. Guys unhappy with each other, and Lucas tried to give him the bumper and actually goes around. So now David Farmer has pulled away a little bit from James Silvers, but James holding on pretty tight. about a second back now. And Silver's last lap was a couple tenths faster than David Farmer. So we might see James Silvers make that gap back up and get back around that 84. David was really pushing there early to get around him. You wonder if the tires didn't appreciate that. Justin Reyes come down pit road to make his pit stop. Should see probably a couple pit stops before the end of this thing, as we're on lap 30. I know we can't see that we're on lap 30, but I'll try to keep you up to date, especially as we get down to the end of this thing. So 15 laps to go. A good amount of time still left in this thing. But it's all Alex Penn. You can see there on the left side of your screen, 8.8 seconds ahead of David Farmer. And 10 seconds now back to James Silver. So Alex Penn got a good opportunity to get a win, some momentum going into the round of 8. As here comes Scott Fritz down pit road to make his stop. With 15 laps to go, I wonder, I would imagine these guys can make it. I think they all came down pit road around like 15 or 16. So we'll see what they decide to do. But they should be able to make it from here. So Scott Fritz should be able to get to the end on this stop here. See what he does. He takes 4 tires and fuel. 2 tires. There goes the left side. So he's definitely taking 4 tires here and fuel. So it'll be a little bit longer stop. We'll see if other drivers elect to take tires as well. Sometimes you see them not to put stickers on. They come down pit road. But Scott Fritz made this race exciting. That's for sure. I mean, this man loves to live on the edge, apparently, because he didn't need to be racing this hard, putting himself in these positions. But he has been out there racing his guts out. So I like that. Up front still, Alex Penn just cruising here, as he's still about a second faster each lap than these other drivers. I mean, just insane pace compared to the rest of the field. And these road course guys are just built different, man. I just, I can't really comprehend it. I don't know what the difference is. I know the difference between, good oval drivers and maybe great ones. But when it comes to road courses, there's just so many turns, so many more variables that gain time. In an oval, you got a couple turns, but it's really just one big old turn or 2 big old turns for each lap. And, just only so much you can do to gain time. That's why we love oval racing so close. But here in road courses, I mean, just everything, braking points, when you pick up the throttle, when you turn into an apex, you just see how many turns there are, even in one labeled one turn, in that chicane. I mean, it's turning into the first part of the chicane. It's cutting to the right of the second part. Then it's cutting down to the right again, back to the left really quickly. And you see, I mean, just so much you have to do right here. And then you're basically throwing the left front way up in the air and slamming down on the ground, trying to keep that thing straight. I mean, just so many variables that add up to time. And that's why you see the big time differences between these drivers. And for Alex, he just knows how to get around these road courses way better than everybody else and do it consistently. I mean, just ran a 1:23.9 that time by. So just really flying. Go check in on another battle. Tony Iverson on the cut line trying to keep up with Scott Fritz. Scott right now back in the 9th position, but he did just make his pit stop. So we'll try to use those tires to his advantage, keep that lead that he has over Tony Iverson. Tony desperately trying to get around some folks, gain some position, some points. Didn't get the amount of stage points he would love to have gotten, but right now he's really in desperation mode if he's going to make it to the next round. There will be no full course cautions, as it's just now, I say that in the truck series we did have a wreck that kind of blocked the whole track, and they threw it pretty quickly. Don't normally see that in iRacing leagues. Most of the time it's just local cautions only, but we did see Race Control throw one, so it is possible that Race Control throws one. Tony has a shot still, but at this moment, I mean, being 30 seconds back from the leader, and Scott Fritz is with a pit stop is 3 spots back. So not enough to do it, but he continues to try. So he's putting a lot of pressure here on Andy Kurtz. Definitely faster, just hard to find a way around these drivers. We've already seen the passing difficulties that happen. All right, leader coming down pit road. Alex Penn's going to take 2 tires. He's going to take the second. His left side's James Silver's in as well. So final pit stops being made here. Alex Penn comes out. Now it's James Silver's on pit road. Andy Kurtz comes down pit road in the 88 machine, along with Michael Kostick in the 8. Still that 1 lap down. I know he would love to see a caution, but that gives the lead over to Jimmy Allen. He still has to make a stop, and Alex Penn will be chopping that lead down really quickly. I mean, Alex can run in the 122s on a new set of tires. It will take him a lap or so to get up to 10th, but it won't take but a couple laps for Alex to run him down on these newer tires. James Silver's still sitting on pit road. So James Silver's, who's been up there in the top 3 all race long, man, going to have a speeding penalty. What a terrible time to have a speeding penalty in that 33. That's going to put him all. You see, he's driving mad there coming out of pit road. Almost misses the corner. But unfortunately, that top 3 finish is going to be gone as, man, what a terrible time to have that happen as he was speeding. Gets a 40-second hold on pit road. So that moves Daniel Cunningham up into 3rd position at the moment. Man, hate to see that. He was having such a good run. Was actually at the end of that run running David Farmer back down for that 2nd position. So he came prepared this week, but unfortunately, see, he started 3rd, currently running in the 10th position. Going to be 56 seconds back to the leader, Jimmy Allen. So heartbreak there for James Silvers. David Farmer has made his final stop. He's going around Tony Iverson there. That's a pass for position. That's 4th. David Farmer, with those fresher tires, is going to drive off. Talked about Alex Penn running down Jimmy Allen right now. He's already down to a 3-second lead after just 1 lap. So now it's under 3 seconds, 2.8. First time tonight that Alex Penn's had someone to chase. Jimmy's still on 15-lap-old tires, so he's got a huge tire advantage. But you see just how quickly Alex is really bringing that gap down. Probably will get him before the end of this lap for sure. He's on 4 seconds faster than Jimmy Allen right now. Yeah, he'll get him. He might get him before the end of this. Let's go on board with him and let's watch what being that much faster it looks like. You could just see how close that yellow bumper gets through the inside of that track, and right here you're gonna see it. It's just too much. Actually, I thought he was gonna get the power down a little bit quicker, but it looks like Jimmy Allen knows the deal. Is going to move up the track and allow Alex Penn to take the lead back here on the lap 36. So we're coming down to about 8 laps to go here once Alex crosses the start-finish line as he does a little Tokyo drift through the chicane. Anybody else, I would imagine they would have been gone, but he slides on through and continues on and puts a 1.2-second gap over Jimmy Allen, who still has yet to make that pit stop along with Lucas Lyons. Back here, Andy Kurtz, Scott Fritz battling as they've got Tony Iverson, Daniel Cunningham a little bit further back. Everybody has made their stop except for Jimmy and Lucas. So these are all battling for positions. Andy Kurtz really drives it in the corner. Going to get really out of shape there as trying to get to the back bumper of Scott Fritz there, it looked like. I think Scott may have made a few enemies. I don't know. But he has been really aggressive here tonight. You know, that's not, you know, it's so weird because we want guys to be aggressive. We want to see these fights between drivers, but, you know, in the playoffs, there's just so much on the line. And here at Bluegrass, you only have 2 races per round, so you don't get the third race to make up for any mistakes. And making enemies, you know, with a really important round coming up, it's it might make this the road to the championship for a long one. Jimmy Allen going to give up second place, come down pit road to get his 4 tires and fuel for this final stop, which should give David Farmer the second position. Oh, and there's contact here. Lucas Line goes around again. Oh, I can actually rewind it this time. You can see, oh, Lucas waiting for Scott Fritz. And Scott just gets him on the right rear quarter and spins him out again. So, I understand Lucas's frustration, but man, I'll tell you what, Scott. I mean, that was a couple attempts of Lucas Line to you know, make contact with Scott Fritz. It just didn't work out, and actually worked out against Lucas. Lucas was definitely waiting for him, and Scott just gets him on the right rear quarter and spins him out again. So Scott's under a lot of heat right now as Tony Iverson going to go around him. Like I said, Tony's going to have, and you see he's Scott driving in that corner. Wow. But Scott's going to have, Tony's going to have a lot of help here. And, you know, like I said, I mean, if somebody gets Scott out of shape and he bends it, no fast repair, you know, Tony Iverson now in the 5th position is in great shape. Tony actually took 2 tires or maybe no tires there on that final stop. So if Scott could fall all the way back at this point to the 9th position, and that would be pretty damn close to that cutoff line. You know, as I take a look at the standings real quick as we continue to watch this, trying to get a feel for everything. Yeah, it looks like everybody's holding steady right here. I wish we had live points, but with stage points, it's impossible for me to have that unless I had somebody sitting here updating a spreadsheet as they go, putting all the points in. I definitely couldn't do that while I'm broadcasting. Oh, Scott Fritz going to get a little bit of that apron. Almost calamity. Yeah, I would love to be able to see the points as they run. I can do that in some leagues, but when they have bonus points for stage breaks, holy cow. It looks like Justin Ray may have been trying to get to pit road. I'm not sure, but these 2 drivers coming quickly. Watching Daniel Cunningham as he's trying to battle Tony Iverson, who only took 2 tires on that pit stop. So he's definitely going to be struggling on some corners. pull these standings up one more time just to make sure I know what I'm looking at. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, so Jim Ott not here tonight. And that's something that I haven't talked about. So Jim Ott, and I'll have to take back some things that I've said, but Jim Ott not here. And he was definitely in the playoffs and was sitting pretty, going into the next round, but he does not make it tonight. And that means that, that Tony Iverson's in this thing. So I was sitting there thinking that Tony Iverson this whole time, but just completely not paying attention to the fact that Jim Ott was not here. So Tony Iverson is in the playoffs at the moment. So he is, I thought he was fighting for his life, but not really. He is going to probably make it in with no issue. I think Lucas is the only one that really needed to kind of shoot for the moon. Now that I'm looking at it, I just don't think that was going to be that much drama tonight. So, yeah, I totally blanked on the fact that Jim Ott was not here. And so that kind of makes it pretty simple. See Jason Ayerson not here as well. A lot of the drivers, they were fighting for those final positions. Nicholas Hacia, he's not here. Michael Cole is here, but he's 3 laps down. He was pretty far back. Oh, he wasn't even in this round. So, yeah, just flailing around at this point, trying to keep up with all the point stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, with Jim Ott out, I mean, that's effectively taking him out of the championship. So, yeah, Lucas Lyon was the only one who could really try to make some points up, and he was more than 20 points back. Yeah, so Lucas needed to win the race. So, interesting. So all those things I was talking about with Scott Fritz, well, no wonder he's driving so he's driving so aggressive. He was locked in. He didn't have to worry about a damn thing. So no drama when it comes to the top 12. It just kind of worked itself out with how many people showed up, and Jim Ott being out of this thing. It would have been a lot closer if Jim was here. Tony would be on the hot seat, but right now, running 6, he's going to move on to the next round. Might have blinked out just a little bit. Go check in on our leader. I hope he's got his mouthpiece in, because he has really end up with some CTE after this race. If the hard hits as that car comes back down. He's got a 20-second lead over David Farmer in that 84 machine, but that 30 has just been lights out here tonight. Second half sometimes 2 seconds faster per lap than the whole field that Alex Penn has been. But just a few more laps. He's on lap 43 of 45, so come around to take 2 laps to go this time by, and then he will take the checkered flag and set his sights on the round of 8 coming up. Back here, Tony Iverson under pressure from James Silvers here. As I don't know what has happened. It's like Iracing has crashed on me somehow. Luckily, we're in a replay, so we'll get that back up in just a second. But yeah, I mean, just interesting development there. I wish I would have known that a little bit better. It blanked on me that that Jim Ott had not made the race. So I mean, I don't know if that was on purpose, but it's a pretty much a bummer for that to happen for Jim, because he had been pretty competitive the times that I have been broadcasting. So tough deal, but we'll get this thing back rolling. Luckily, we're in the replay, so we're not going to really miss anything, especially the last couple laps. But talking about the next few rounds, if we look at the schedule here, I mean, the next rounds are going to be awesome. Darlington, Martinsville. I would love for them to find a live broadcaster, or if we could provide one that would be great too. But just don't have the opportunity at the moment to do that. Yeah, the next couple rounds are going to be pretty crazy. I mean, Darlington and Martinsville are a heck of a two-race playoff for the Final Four. They're going to go to Homestead after that, so pretty cool deal. Well, we got her back rolling as we go back up here, check out the timing and scoring. Looks to be correct, so David Farmer about 20 seconds back from Alex in. So he's going to come around and take the white flag this time by. And only have one more lap to go to really just complete this just amazing work that he did. And James Silvers trying to fight back after that speeding penalty on that last pit stop. He has driven himself back up into the 6th position. Even with that 40-second hold, has been able to get back and try to run down the top 5. And he is really, really quick. We know that. He was up there running with those top 3 that seem to kind of be in their own zip code. Tony Iverson going to try to fight back here. We'll see if Silvers can hang on to it. Yeah, Tony could dive down to the inside, but Silvers got the tire advantage. He can outbrake him. Tony stayed out, or when he came down pit road, took 2 tires, so he's definitely struggling a little bit. But Alex Penn on the final lap. He goes through for the final time. On the infield is only 8 cars on the lead lap. See, it does make a little bit of contact with that wall there, trying to get that exit. Seen a couple of guys do that. It's pretty impressive to see him do that multiple times a race as he goes down to the inside. Through the backstretch chicane, and Alex Penn, just one more turn, one more chicane to get it done. I mean, he could honestly drive through, come to a complete stop, and just go on to the start-finish line and win this thing. But he's going to hit the chicane, and coming out of the chicane, it's going to be Alex Penn winning his 6th race of the season. Does a little drift across the line, and he is going to take home the checkered flag there. David Farmer, what a great race. A great battle between him and James Silvers all race long, and he is going to have a runner-up finish. He was already locked into the playoffs, so he didn't even really have to try that hard, but instead he comes out here to race. That's what he gets a lot of enjoyment out of. He's going to take the checkered flag. Jimmy Allen, we saw him spinning at one point, and he comes back and comes in and takes home the 3rd position as he comes through the final chicane now. So Jimmy Allen gonna do a little. Oh, he gonna spin out before the start finish line. I hope he makes it. He does. Gonna spin out through the grass. Here comes Daniel Cunningham and Andy Kurtz. That is your 4th and 5th positions. James Silver's gonna come back after that issue and finish in 6th. Tony Iverson in 7th, and Scott Fritz, your last car on the lead lap. He'll be the last one to cross the line, and he comes home in the 8th position. So, well, there you have it. That is, man, what a great race. What a great finish by Alex Penn. A great race. There were some good battles, some guys who are not happy with each other. Scott Fritz, Lucas Lyon definitely seemed to have some issues there. But, yeah, Justin Ray going to come home, or Michael Kostick comes home in 9th, Justin Ray in 10th. Lucas Lyon comes home in 11th as he called it quits. Michael Cole comes home in 12th. So, all righty. Well, no interviews, obviously. Don't have anybody to talk to. I'm all alone right now. It's just on Friday morning or Friday afternoon now. And but congratulations to Alex Penn for winning that race. And if we look at the standings here, I do have those standings: Alex Penn, David Farmer, Jimmy Allen, Michael Kostick, Justin Ray, Daniel Cunningham, and Tony Iverson and Scott Fritz are your final 8. We'll move on to the next round, and they have Darlington, the Lady in Black, staring them in the face. It's going to be a tough one, but it should be a really, really good race. Then Martinsville for all the marbles to head to the round of 4. That is going to be extremely, extremely exciting. So, all right, guys. Well, that is all we got, all the coverage. Thank y'all so much for going back and watching. If you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. We will see y'all back. VSRN will be on tonight for the Rebels ARCA series, and then the Rebels Truck series on Sunday, and then back here at the Rebels Trucks, or Bluegrass Truck series on Monday night for the first round of 8 race there at Darlington. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on back, check that out. I'm Eddie Smith. We'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good night.